Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a while since we started recording anything for Operation Expanding Horizons. Due to summer plans, Mafoy has delegated me to take control of his Japanese empire here. So we will begin with that. With this recording. Some housekeeping. Laker, I have added a Republican recruitment die for you. I'm sorry, it must have been deleted sometime, but you can always change this to a different shade of purple if you would like, and it has been so named for your Republican recruitment roles. Prior to the Soviet turn, the Germans were under the impression that the British could declare war on Vichy if it decided to move through the Strait of Gibraltar and thereby get some shots on their naval forces. It had been planned out, and the picture that I put in the housekeeping is of the discussion I was having with Mafoy, whether that risk was worth it or not. We ended up saying that it was not. However, the fact that they cannot declare war on Vichy unless a ground battle is commenced works out in our favor. So we will actually, given von Dox's approval to retcon, we will take the Vichy fleet here and fight the Free French fleet off the coast of Portugal. This is a inter-French fight. Intra-French fight. It is not between anybody else. The same would be if France decided to attack Vichy directly and then they won or something of that nature. It doesn't have any bearing on any other forces. So this transport did what he was meant to do last time: go pick up units, bring them back, drop them off here. The French fighter on the Vichy turn had been going here just in case there was a declaration of war, and it doesn't matter, he was flying down to here anyway. They're trying to do some shenanigans of Vichy stuff. So we will commence with this battle. And it's a battleship, heavy cruiser destroyer versus destroyer, torpedo boat destroyer. We can grab some dice. That's a TBD. We can roll those for the destroyers. We'll get a heavy cruiser and a battleship. Alright, so heavy cruiser, destroyer, battleship. Like that. We got a destroyer and a TBD destroyer for the other French. And we will commence and see what's what. That's a miss and a miss for the Free French. That is barely a hit for the battleship. And a miss and a miss. So they will likely take off their TBD. And it is now just the others. Alright, that's complete misses around the board, because this is once again the heavy cruiser. That is a Free French destroyer hit, and a hit for the heavy cruiser and for the battleship. So Free France loses. We will bring their ships there, but we will also need a damaged hull, or hull damage marker seems appropriate. I'll just resize that a little bit. Alright. And the Vichy fleet will exist there. And we'll go away. Well, these dice can be here, I guess, for now, in case we need any more dice and we don't want to go to the battle board. That should take care of the retcon housekeeping. Alright. Then, I believe the next order of business is to roll. Per instructions, we're going to roll some technology. Improved construction is a go. Heavy armor is not. Okay. We can get rid of those. You know, 1 for 2. That's fine. Considering the odds were against us. Alright. Then the buys will stand thus. We have supplies and militia, which will be replacing the Manchukuo militia that are already there, so in effect it is just these 2 infantry popping out. We are rebuilding the Inner Mongolian army, which died last turn. It costs 2, so the militia unit, the militia upgrade is there. We're buying a tank, and infantry. So sad, boys. It doesn't look like this one is your turn. But that'll be 37 for 37. Well, we've got a heavy cruiser. Heavy cruiser would be nice to finish. However, we don't have it finished. These are now in place. We are placing a light carrier. Because America has declared war on us, taking the Marshalls. It's all very sad. Yeah, those will be the buys. The combats. This should be indicative of what the combats will be. And the non-combats, and what we attempt for the non-combats. Some of the things here, we've got this Vichy, which is Japanese-controlled submarine, gonna go 1, 2, 3, and be there. This Japanese coastal submarine will go 1 and be here. This Vichy Japanese-controlled submarine will go 1, 2, 3. Join its German counterpart right there. And we're gonna roll for some dice. Yeah. For each of those. Alright, we're gonna do some convoy raiding. But first, we're gonna also announce the other attacks that we're doing here. We are gonna send this seaplane 1-2 and attack this sucker. So, we can do that momentarily. We're going to be doing several amphibious assaults and some ground assaults. This transport is going to follow the line and drop off a Marine here, drop off a Kwantung Army unit into here. We're going to be marching these three boys into here. They will be joined by this fighter. We'll go there. This fighter will go up into this Nanjing attack. This tactical will go in here. This tactical. Well, one of the tacticals is going up here. The other is going over there. It's long and short. One, two, three for that guy. Let's see. Yeah, these guys have moved. This has moved. And we'll be doing that before any other movements happen. This transport will be picking up two guys. Dropping them off there. These heavy cruisers will be bombarding Nanjing. This fleet carrier, I believe, is going to have to. It doesn't have to, but it will be coming there with two of these. Something like that. That guy has moved. This guy, he can go 1, 2. And just pop in. There for now. And he can go and pop in right there for now as well. But they're picking up these and these, which will be popping down right into there. As I say this, the 97th is going into here, but that's really just these two dudes. So they can walk over, and then this 97th token can actually be used for the city fight. Because the city fight has got more things going on. The fighter, the Kwantung Army unit, the Gondo Special Force, and the Imperial Guard, and 2 Marines. We're all just having a big happy time. It'll be 5 units going in. fighting against, rather, these units. And we've cleaned up a lot of this. We've moved, that's moved. These guys have also moved. All the subs have moved. Oh, this light cruiser will be going out, killing this transport, going right back. So that is a combat that doesn't need to be rolled. Okay. As far as Japanese combat moves and things of that nature go, this should be fine. Tactical is fighting in Shandong. This guy's fighting there. These guys are fighting there. Tactical is there. We still have that plane there, so he'll get a shot if he doesn't get taken as a casualty. He's probably not going to be taken as a casualty, but maybe he will. By the first strike. We're gonna go with this first. Just roll to see if we kill him, and we will be submerging him regardless. We do not kill him, but he is submerged. So these transports are able to go perfectly through. And I guess according to the way that goes, if the Soviets declare war on me, then they would have been subject to that, and I don't know, something of that nature. I believe they're subject to that seaplane submerging them if they choose to declare war, and so they can't shoot at these regardless. Because there's apparently only one combat allowed per sea zone or territory in a turn. I don't know. Shenanigans at the battle in Seattle were accomplished, and that was one of the things that I learned, is that it'll submerge both if he decides to declare war. I believe that was a thing with Madman Dan's Japan and Garrett's Soviets happening at the same time. Okay. Well, let's conduct some raids with subs. So this sub can raid here. This little mini sub. The mini sub hits a 5 for 1. I don't recall what the bonuses are for the British, or if they have ASW. It does not look like the British have ASW. The British have no bonuses to long-range aircraft or radar or ASW, so they will take the maximum of 1 damage from that. Okay. Very fun. 1 damage on the FEC, I believe. Is it on FEC? Or is it on the British proper, the Crown Brits? I think the Crown Brits are... Yeah, the Crown Brits are represented by the Union Jack, so... Well, it's the same as the Maldives. So that'll be on the FEC. Because the Maldives and all these other ones are the same as that. FEC will lose 1. 211. And then we've got this sub going for its 5, 6 versus 1. So it would be 5. Which it would max this out and this, but it can only hit 4 because there's only 4 left. So that is from the Crown Brits, according to that line. Crown Brits. 1, 2, 3, 4 down. Then the Japanese here. This is maxed. This is not yet. It's got 2 left, I believe. 1 from there. 3 off of this sub here. So we're gonna roll and see how many we can get with the Japanese. 2 versus 5. That'll be the other 2. For the British proper. All right. And that's all of the Japanese raiding. They were 100% successful on that. Let's see if we can be as successful in all of the combats that we're doing this turn. That is to be found. We'll go now with... Might as well go with Hopei, the Hebei province. We've got 3 infantry and 1 fighter versus 2 cavalry and an infantry. We can put these on the battle board. That could be fun. Alright. We'll have those work. Alright, let's see. That is pretty darn bad. That's 1, 2, 3 hits for 1. So the Japanese infantry are just completely kaput. this seems to be what's happening in China every turn for Japan, according to Mifui. So that's just unfortunate. The one death is probably going to be a cavalry for the CCP. But we're going to retreat with Japan. And that's unfortunate. Maybe we can shake off those things. This will go back to the 18th. Shake it off. Shake it off. CCP retains Hebei province with very forceful defense. A very forceful defense. Let's hope that that luck doesn't hold. We're going to go for Shandong province. Tactical. And 3 infantry. This is maybe not a good idea on my part. However, I've already committed to it. Dice have been rolled. Alright, at the 7 and the rest over here. That's one hit. One hit. No longer suffering double casualties, so we can safely lose the infantry. It's a complete wash. We go again. That's a hit and a hit. This is not looking great for Japan. That's one hit. This is maybe looking better now. Complete misses all the way around. Once again, complete misses. Complete misses. This is a hit for Japan, and that will end the suffering for me as I record this. Wow, that took forever and a day, and maybe shouldn't have come out that way. But Japan has won, thankfully. Alright. Let's go with Hunan. And this is pretty easy. This Marine actually does not lose anything on the river attack because he's a Marine. The artillery never is applicable with a river attack, so it just shoots. And the tactical will be the tactical. So We'll have tactical marine at 3, and or actually this will be artillery at 3, marine at 3. If the artillery hits, this defending cavalry has no return shot because of first strike. Alright, the artillery missed, as did everything else for Japan, so the cavalry did have a return strike which missed. Complete wash. That's a miss for the cav, but a hit for the tactical bomber. So Japan walks in. And I am an idiot. I was thinking, hey, I'll just surround this and it'll be completely fine, and nope, the answer is it's a nope, not fine. The heavy cruisers are great, but if this is not blockaded, which it is not, the city is not surrounded. And I don't think I had the ships in order to do that anyway, so I'm missing one ship. And it could have probably been this light cruiser if he had run the guns and the sub to get over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, it would have been scary. He did not do that. And that is unfortunate. These, by the way, are repairing the full turn over in here in the major dockyard. So they will no longer be damaged and they'll just be full. That could be cause for concern. Let's hope that we hit a whole bunch of these things. Not that he hits, just we want to hit. Japan wants the victory. So the defense is at 5 for the regular boys, and 6 for the elite boy, because they get +1 from the city. Fighters at 4. The Marines are at 2. The Kwantung Army is at 3. The Manchukuo Imperial Guard is at 3. The Gondo Special Force is at 3. And then we'll go with these for our first strikes. As the 4 cruisers at 2. Let's go for 4 heavy cruisers. Let's see what we can get. Because cruisers go first. Cruisers miss on everything. If they had been battleships, they would have had 3 for 4. That would have been nice. Cruisers completely miss. Alright. So we've got guys at 2, guys at 3, fighter at 4 versus 5s, a 6, and he gets 1 at 1. Make him that color, just in case these don't go great. He does not hit. We have 1 from the Marine. We have missing other infantry. So one thing dies, likely the AA gun. The 6 missed, but the 5s both hit, so that's sad. The Marines are gone. It's likely the AA gun is gone as well for the one hit that they gave. And this is round 2 of the battle. After 3 rounds, it will be gone. Oh, wow. 1, 2, 3. That's all that we needed. Well, let's see. What did they get? 9, 11, 11. Whoa. Alright. Well, we like it. Goodbye, CCP control. This elite infantry is unfortunate for the CCP, but this is one of the reasons I decided to attack, is because it no longer is there if it is destroyed. And so for the rest of the game, he will be down 1 elite infantry. Which is good for us. And thankfully, we did not lose any of our special units, because the Manchukuo Imperial Guard is the same. If it is gone, it is gone. This guy went 1, 2. He can go back 3, 4, and land on the 18th. This is part of the non-coms, I believe, at this point. Non-combat moves. These guys are the 6th. We can probably just remove that. This guy has to land somewhere. He's landing here because that is where he can land. I remember now why I wanted to split some carriers and things, because of the submarines that are around here. That is gonna be unfortunate. We'll move him in, I suppose. The one that unloaded things in here. We'll go there. This guy split, however. He put a Marine in here and a special unit in there, so he is just stuck. The seaplane went 1, 2. It can go 3, 4 to Formosa. All right. Out and about. That is Japan's way of doing things. As Strat Naval movement goes, he would like to Strat Naval, but I'm uncertain as to the submarine's provenance and how that interacts. So let's go look that up. Refer to 1142. Strat naval move. Alright. Non-submerged submarines. Okay, so it is a non-submerged enemy submarine, and it would block the entirety of that. Really should have looked at that further. However, with this having died from this popping out and going back in, I guess he's just gonna sit there then and not do anything. We are gonna go with an Indian National Army unit over here. We're gonna rail this Japanese infantry. Well, I guess because he can't strat naval move, there really isn't a purpose of having this transport that guy over there anymore. So he can just sit here, I suppose. Yeah, they can both just stay there. With the Marine, I guess if I had known that, maybe he would have gone and taken Kuwait, but or Aden or something. It goes down 1, 2. There's nothing to take on the coast of Africa, so I guess he could have gone 1, 2, 3 and landed in Western Australia, but that serves no purpose either. He'll just stay put. And we will not rail that. However, we will be moving these. So, Manchukuo infantry. I've thematically switched out some of the Japanese units from Manchukuo units just because, you know, fun. Manchukuo infantry here. Manchukuo cavalry here. Oh, I forgot to land this tactical. This tactical will go back in. The 18th. The rest of these are militia, so they cannot move. And then I guess we have one rail in Asia left to use. Interestingly enough, we could rail over to Tokyo. Or we just go into Honshu here with our two guys, because we are not under threat of being invaded by anybody in Tokyo like we were last time from Midway. Because now that they're down at the Marshalls, this is a minor port. Closest they could get to us would be P-26 or P-35. Maybe they want to take the Bonin Islands, I don't know. they're more likely to come to the Carolines and take the major port in the airfield. Anywho. That's Japan. And I don't think I've got any other movements. Because all the planes have landed. Alright. Then we've got how much cash? We have 32 plus 4 is going to be 36. It's looking a little dicey here, not gonna lie. From 37 down to 36. I guess because we failed to get that. Could be. Could be. Alright, so income collected, and now it's time to place some units. So with the militia upgrade in both of those spots. The militia upgrade will be in Rihe and in Western Manchuria. Both lovely things. And we've got the tank that shows up in Beijing, the other tank that shows up in Western Manchuria, and the infantry that shows up in Rihe. The Inner Mongolian cavalry, Inner Mongolian army in Karulin. The light carrier will show up in port. And we've got some more things here. Kyushu will have an additional guy. We've got another militia to join us here. We're gonna put those here anyhow, despite them not being able to move. It's just saving space. So one in Beijing, one in Hong Kong, and one in Korea. Now we can go to Tokyo. Yeah, we'll go to Tokyo. Oh. No. That's right. He wants to go to Bengal. To Burma. That's Bengal. Alright, so we're in Burma. Over there. Defending other things here. Lovely. And we've picked up 36. And it looks like that will be it for the Empire of Japan, turn 8 in Operation Expanding Horizons. Thank you all, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.